In this video, we're going to use loops in order to figure out how many zombies could be created in a certain number of days. So let's look at the initial setup of the problem. So say we're at Full Sail's main campus, and we have a student who has been working all late hours and drinking Red Bull and drank a radioactive Red Bull, right? So he becomes the first zombie. And on day number 1, this one zombie is going to go out and bite 4 other students. Now, during that day, those 4 students will transform into 4 zombies. So they're going to become the zombies. So at day number 2, we still have our initial zombie, but now he has the 4 new zombies. So we have 5 zombies in our zombie horde. Now, those 5 zombies will each go out and bite 4 more people. So this becomes an exponential problem. So what we need to figure out here is how many zombies will there be in 8 days? Now, we know what we need to know, but what do we actually know? So we know that one zombie can bite 4 people a day, and the next day, those people become zombies and part of the zombie horde. And we also know how many days we're looking at, because we need to know for 8 days. So now that we know the whole entire setup, let's go to our code and try to figure out how many zombies there will be in 8 days. Let's create a new solution for this. I'm going to call it Zombie Looping Madness. All right. And we'll go inside of our main program, and we can go ahead and get started. So we'll put at the top, Zombie Madness. So what do we actually know? So let's write out the givens first. So we know we start with one zombie. So start with one zombie. It can bite 4 people in a day. And we need 8 days. So those are the initial givens that we have. So let's turn those into variables that we can actually use. So first things first, how many zombies do we have? So let's put that. How many zombies do we have? So let's make it an integer. So I'll type int and then a space, num zombies equals 1, because that's how many we started with. Then let's create another variable. So we'll say number of bites per zombie per day. So we have another integer. So this is num bites equals, and how many can they bite? They can bite 4 people a day. And then finally, we need the how many days. So we have another int, days equals 8, and then a semicolon. And now we're all set up. So now let's go ahead and create our for loop to cycle through each day. So we start with a for, open closing parentheses, open closing curly brackets, and split those apart. And inside of our parentheses, let's start with our integers, the variable that we're going to create, the kind of counting variable. So I'm going to say int I equals 1, because we're starting on day number 1, semicolon, I is less than and equal to days, the variable name from up above. So we're going to start with day number 1, and we want to run until we get to day number 8. And we want to say less than or equal to, because we need day number 8 as well. Then a semicolon, I++, because we want to go through each and every day. So what we did is we basically said, for every day, run this loop. That's kind of the long story short of it. So inside of this loop, what happens every single day? So we say, well, what happens in a day? Well, the first things first is, how many new zombies get created? Now, the answer here is not 4, okay? The answer here is 4 times the number of zombies we have, right? Because each zombie can bite 4 people. So we need to create a new variable for that. So we're going to say int, and we're going to call them new zombies. equals the number of zombies, so num zombies, times the number of bytes they can do, so num bytes, and then a semicolon, right? So then at the end of the day, right? So end of the day, these new zombies join our zombie horde. So they actually do become the zombies. So what we have to do is we have to update the number of zombies that we currently have. So we're going to do that with num zombies plus equals new zombies. And remember, plus equals is just the assignment operator that says basically take new zombies, add it to the value of num zombies, and store it back into num zombies. So at the end of the day, what we should do is we should console log or console write line out how many zombies we have. So let's tell the public how many zombies we have each day. So let's do a console.writeLine, open closing and a semicolon. Back inside of here, we can have a text string. So there are, and we'll have that curly brackets with a 0 in it, so that'll be our placeholder parameter. So there's going to be that many zombies on day number. Let's have curly brackets here. Back inside of here, we'll have the number 1, and that's going to be whatever day that we're currently on. I'm going to end it with an exclamation point, go outside my text string, have a comma. The first placeholder represents the number of zombies, so that's the num zombies variable. Then we have a comma, and I'm going to use the I variable. And I is because that is the day we're currently on. For example, we're on day number 1, then we'll be on day number 2, and so on and so on. So let's go through this before we run it. On day number 1, I equals 1. So is 1 less than the value of days, which is 8. So is 1 less than 8? That's true. So then we're going to make some zombies. So we initialize a new zombies variable and set it equal to num zombies times num bytes. So 1 zombie bytes 4 people. So new zombies becomes 4. At the end of the day, our num zombies, we basically have to add the new zombies, this is hard to say, new zombies to the old zombies. So we have 1 plus 4 equals 5. We store that value back into num zombies. So when we type this out, there should be 5 zombies on day number 1. Okay, then we come to the closing bracket, come back up to our increment of change, which will add 1 to it, which will be 2. Is 2 less than 8? That's true. So then we can start all over again. We start a new variable, and we say how many zombies are there? Well, now there's 5 zombies, and each one of them can bite 4 people still. So 5 times 4, that's 20, so we have 20 new zombies. We add those to the zombie horde, so 5 existing zombies, 20 new zombies, and we get 25 for the number of zombies. So on day number 2, there should be 25. And this will continue going on exponentially. So let's run this and see what we get. So 5 zombies on day number 1, 25 zombies on day number 2, then we have 125, 625, and if you notice on day number 8, we already have 390,625 zombies on day number 8. So that is the answer to how many we have on day number 8. However, what if we ask a slightly different question? What if we asked instead how many days it will take to get to 1,000,000 zombies? Well, this is going to be a kind of different challenge because we can't really do a for loop because we're not sure on how many days to actually use. So in this case, we're actually going to try a while loop. So let's rework this problem slightly. So if we want to see how long it will take to reach 1,000,000 zombies, that's going to be the new question. So let's keep tracking this. So we're going to say var, we're going to say int, and we'll call this num days. We'll set it equal to 1 because that's what we're going to start out with, day number 1. And let's create a while loop that will actually go through this for us. So we probably actually need, what we need to do is we need to create new variables because we don't want to take over these. So let's actually just go ahead and create another int and then put zombie horde number. And we're going to start with a 1 again. Okay, so we can actually keep track of it. Now let's go ahead and create the while loop. So we're going to start with while, open closing parentheses, open closing curly bracket, and split that apart. Inside of here, we want this to loop as long as the zombie horde number is going to be less than 1,000,000. Once it is greater than 1,000,000, then we can actually stop. So we want to test, is the zombie horde number less than or equal to 1,000,000? Okay, so as long as that number is less than that, this will go ahead and loop. Now, inside of it, this happens each day. It's going to be the same math as above. So new zombies will be created, then theirs will be added to the zombie horde. So we'll do the same thing. So we'll say int, and we'll say bitten people equals, then we have the zombie horde number times the number of bites, because that doesn't change. Every zombie can bite 4 people. And then at the end of the day, those people become zombies. So we'll do the same math as above. So zombie horde number plus equals the bitten people. Oops, plus equals, no space, bitten people, and then a semicolon. And now let's go ahead and console log out. So let's report to the people how many zombies there are. Oops, there are. Okay, so we're going to say a console dot write line, open close and a semicolon. Inside of here, a text string. So on day number, we're going to put in a placeholding parameter. So open closing curly brackets with a 0 in it. There are, and let's put another one of those in. So this is the 1. So we started with 0 because that's the first index number. 1 is the second index number. So there are blank zombies. And then after our text string, we'll have a comma. The first one we need to fill is the number of days, so num days, the comma, and then the zombie horde number. Perfect. And then what we need to do is at the end of the day, so end of the day, we increase the day number. Not increase. There we go. And that just means we're going to add 1 to it. So we're going to say num days plus plus. So then it will start again. So let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. So on day number 1, there were 5 zombies. Day number 2, there are 25. All the way to day number 8, there's the 390,000. And then on day number 9, there will be 1.9 million zombies running around. So just one more day than we were trying to keep track of before. So that is going to be our answer. And the reason it worked is because as soon as the number of zombies increased over 1 million, this became false and then it stopped. And so that's why the console stopped. So that is how to figure out how many zombies there are. We did 2 different ways, using a for loop because we knew how many days we wanted to look up. So on day number 8, there was this many. Or if we didn't know exactly how many days we wanted or how many loops we needed to do, we could then kind of use the while loop and then just keep track of the zombie horde number and see when it reached over 1 million, and that actually was on day number 9. So those are 2 different ways in order to try to figure out the problem. One using a for loop, one using a while loop, and it all depends upon what information you're trying to get.